Okay, so this week the census confirmed what we've long surmised, that the United States has grown increasingly diverse over the past decade, led by surging Latino and Asian American populations. The indigenous population has increased by a 160%, and African Americans have held steady, and the white population declined for the first time in American history. So this might explain why so many in the conservative movement stay big mad. The fear that being the minority will incur them the same treatment that they've long inflicted on others. So let's talk about it. Joining me now are Cristina Ramirez, Executive Director for Next Gen America, Christine Chen, Co-founder and Executive Director of APIA Vote, and returning champ, Giassi Ross, member of the Blackfoot Nation and co-host of the podcast Breakdances with Wolves on Indigenous Pirate Radio. Thank you all for being here. Christina, I want to start with you because the biggest gains that were made were in the Latino community, which I find fascinating because not only is this a community that's diverse in terms of origin, but it's very politically diverse as well. So what do these numbers say to you about how elected officials need to reach out to this community that for a long time was quite overlooked?
Well, I live in Texas where 1 in 5 Latinos live, and lots of people picture my state as a state filled with white cowboys. And for sure, we have great white cowboys in our state. But actually, what people should be picturing is a state that is majority young, brown, and black. 100,000 Latinos turning 18 every year in Arizona, 200,000 Latinos turning 18 every year in Texas. So this is tremendous political power and growth in our community. But as Latinos, we are also a community where 1 in 3 of us in my home state of Texas don't have health care, where 60% of Latinos make under $15 an hour. So to win the Latino vote long term, politicians need to invest in our vote, invest in a very young population, and invest on a very robust and progressive economic agenda. I also want to say that the census data, particularly from Arizona, Georgia, and Texas, that showed huge growth in communities of color, shows why we are seeing unprecedented attacks on the power of our vote, why they tried to undercount us in the census to begin with Trump in office, and why during redistricting we're also going to see them try and dilute the power of our vote. And for me, the message is really clear for politicians that want to cling to the past and not celebrate the diversity of our country, that if they want to cling to the past, they can have it. But the future is going to belong to us.
Yeah, Christina makes a really good point. I often say this is not a revolution, what's happening in this country. It's an evolution. So get on board or get fossilized. And I think that the AAPI population punctuates this point, the fastest growing demographic in this country. And certainly, if for anybody else, the AAPI population is also overlooked, particularly in Georgia, where that community was integral in delivering the power of the federal government to Democrats. What's your take on these new numbers and how they will be used to shape $1.5 trillion in annual funding?
Yeah, for us, we were not surprised about these numbers. Asian American Pacific Islanders continue to grow in double digits in every single state except Hawaii, where we already make up a majority. Even in states where they're losing population, the Asian population continues to increase in those double digits. And we as immigrants are helping revitalize these cities. Even in those, as we start to see these numbers transform into voters, as we saw in this last election cycle with Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada, elected officials, candidates need to also start looking at places like Texas and North Carolina and Michigan and Pennsylvania, because we're already seeing, especially at the local level, how working with broad coalitions with Asian American Pacific Islanders, other communities of colors, especially when you combine the numbers of Latinos and Asians, 1 in 4 in the country identify with this immigrant population. And so, and we've also seen that after the elections, the Asian American Pacific Islander community has continued to organize, whether it's around vaccines, fighting against anti-Asian hate, which continues to be a high priority because we continue to see increasing number of reporting of harassment, of shunning, and physical attacks against our community. And as we move forward, as we look at how we develop our international relations with other countries, we're going to be looking looking to see how that really impacts this community, which is growing and really has a opportunity at the ballot box to really make a difference.
So, Giassi, one thing I found interesting about these numbers is that by 2045, there will be no racial majority in the country, which is very fascinating because you wonder what that looks like. But given that the Native population has increased exponentially, I'm curious your thoughts on these numbers. And why do you think the Native population increased so much? I'm curious on your thoughts on both those things.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Tiffany. Well, it's been a steady increase for Native people. For Native people, we were pushed to the point of genocide by a genocidal government, by a genocidal church, by genocidal educational systems, to a low of the turn of the 20th century, only being 250,000 Native people in these so-called United States. And now to get to a place of 3.7 million, and that's with Native people being vastly undercounted. It shows the resilience. It shows the power. Obviously, it shows the fertility of Native people. And I suppose one of the reasons why, that this boom is happening, that Native people are in this incredible recovery, is because that we have access to healthcare. We have access to better healthcare than we have in previous years. And that's due to people like Secretary Deb Haaland. That's due to the organizers who are getting Native people to the polls to hold politicians accountable and fully fund, hopefully get to a point of fully funding services such as the Indian health services. And that allows Native people to, live our best lives, to actually be vital and powerful as we were always supposed to be before this intervening event of genocide happened, however many years ago, and continued on as we see the remnants of these children at boarding schools, Native boarding schools, being uncovered. We're recovering from that. We did it in a powerful way, and we'll continue to grow and continue to be fertile, I imagine.
a resilient people, we all are, absolutely. And take a good look at your screen, because this is the future of America. I also want to point out that it's very routine for communities of color to be undercounted, particularly in the Native American community and the Black community and the Brown community. So we'll continue this conversation as we peel apart these numbers and see if they're even trustworthy in the coming